Honestly, I am so passionate about what I'm going to talk about today. You got to come back and I got to say what's on my mind. Hey Halifax, Brenda K here with the Halifax Home Selling Group and the sweet Miss Frankie who's here with me every week. So, wow. What's happening in the market? What's happening in real estate? We are all feeling something, so come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the causes of what could be going on. Inventory. Inventory is up. Now, it's funny because it's at 526 right now, and at this time last year it was at 416. So technically, we're still a seller's market, but it's not as frenzied. Like one day, 101 new listings came up. You know, and we're all like, yay, we all love it. Because the market that we've been dealing with, it's hard on everybody. It's hard on buyers, it's hard on sellers, it's hard on agents. And I think the biggest thing that makes me so passionate about is that the home ownership dream that so many young Nova Scotians have, it's gone. It's just not there anymore. And that's really sad. Buyer's fatigue is another one. They're tired. It's been 2 years. They're constantly beat out. They're against 14 people. They just, the anxiety, they can't take it anymore. They're going back and they're renting. What happens once they go back to renting? They sign a lease for a whole year. Interest rates. Absolutely, interest rates have played a big part. And I'll tell you why. Because with the way the qualifying rate goes, you can't afford as much. So the houses you might have been looking at 3 months ago, you can't look at them anymore. You can't afford them. Because remember, you're qualifying on that higher rate, which keeps you safe, by the way. Big one, pricing. Pricing below market value. Like way below market value. The seller knows he's not going to take any less than 400, so let's price it at 300. Why? All these buyers that go in between 300 and 400, they don't have a hope of getting it. I'll give you an example. So, and this is just generalized looking at some numbers. So, houses for sale for $289,900 in an area. The other houses around it all came on listed in the last few months about $399,000. The average sell is $500,000 plus. Why would you list at $289,000? It's almost like it's a tease because, the buyers don't know. And then when they did figure it out, they started shopping $100,000 less. And the thing about that is that strategy is no longer working because you know what? Buyers have caught on. They really have. They've caught on. And so what happens, it doesn't sell, and then the consumer sees it go back on for even more money. And every time over the years that I've been in here, every time a price goes up, you know what a buyer asked me? Well, what did they do to increase the value of the home? The answer to that question now, they priced it at a price that they weren't willing to accept. You want realistic pricing out there. I remember in the spring of 2015, were we in a buyer's market? I mean, I'm talking houses were on the market 180, 200, 300 days. It was insane. So in the fall of November 2011, we got the ship contract. Great. And Halifax is so happy and the market just, boom, takes off. And 2012, just, boom, for a seller's market. Now, back then, a seller's market was just that you may get one competing offer or it may sell in a month. That was the seller's market back then. Then 2015 comes and wham, bottom fell out of pricing. So in 2015, and I'm going to price a home, would I say, well, let's price it at what we would have priced it in 2012. See if we get it. Why would I do that? So this is the same thing now, right? We've had 2 years of history. Price it where the market value. So there's enough history. In every neighborhood, there's enough history now. This is another one that some people might not like me for, but sellers. So this happened to me a few weeks ago. So there was an area that the townhouses, and shopping with one of my fellas for 2 years. They were selling around, they were always committed about $499. Over 2 years, they've gone up to the high 600s. So one came on, priced bang on where it should be. And we were super excited, and you're just running to get in there, right? One offer goes in, full price. Nope, no. The seller not only wanted the price that was had already inflated in 2 years, $180,000 over, plus whatever equity he had. He wanted more, and the buyers were insulted. Like we just were like, he wants what? Needless to say, it's still there. So in the February frenzy, ton of offers, something priced at $424 went for $580,000, and the seller walked before closing. And that's an entirely different video, so watch for it. One had sold nearby, identical, $575. We got $525. 10% drop since February. And don't get me wrong, I don't think anybody overpaid when the market was what it was. But I do believe there has to come a time when the market not falls or goes up, but it just corrects itself. We just kind of shift into that mode where the values are what we call more balanced. And excuse me, we know that a seller's market is 1 to 3 months. It's not like 1 to 14 days. Your house is on the market for 30 days. That's fine. At least it's out there at a price that you're willing to take, and let the buyers come and let them negotiate. So let's look at some numbers. So the last 7 days, the average price was $472,000 and change. The average sell, and this is off kind of and change off the top of my head there, 588 and change was the average selling price. So you were over about 65,000 there. In April, the average price was 500,000 and change. The average selling price was 591 and change. So the over average there was, give or take, 91,000. And then in March, the average list was 491. The sale was 591. So you're talking $100,000 is your average over. So you can see it is going down. And the sooner we can get this shift back, the better the market will be for everybody. So the only way for us to balance our market here and have good sales, good prices, strong negotiations is to end this shifting of prices this low when you want this high, and it's everybody, it's I'm not pointing fingers at sellers or realtors or anybody. It's just kind of like, can we just, can we fast forward back? Can we fast reserve back? And let's do that. The sellers, I know it's hard. We all have that inner Scrooge. I'm not going to lie. I could have it too. I don't know. My house is not for sale. Buyers, they're just so tired. What goes up must come down. And it usually crashes. We don't want that to happen. Not in Halifax. We've never had it. We've avoided it. So, Halifax, I'm Brenda K, and I think we should take back control of our market. I think agents, sellers, everybody involved in the real estate industry, and we want to make homeownership a dream, an attainable dream for the buyers that have been left in the dust. Are we shifting? Are we shifting? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear your comments below. If you find value in my videos, please hit subscribe. We're out every week. I'm Brenda K. This is the Sweet Miss Frankie. Check out the next video up in the corner. It's pretty good. Cheers.